Most of us have fond memories of attending sleepovers at our friends' houses as kids. However, Arkansas teenager Nickolas Conrad lived through a real-life nightmare at a sleepover he went to. The teen boy awoke in agony in the middle of the night, only to realize the cause of his pain was something horrifying. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video with your friends. With the prevalence of social media has come the notorious internet challenge. We're now seeing teenagers inhale laundry detergent and snort condoms up their noses in irresponsible and hazardous cries for attention. Another challenge is even more dangerous because it involves an unwilling and unsuspecting victim who could be permanently maimed. Arkansas teen Nickolas Conrad learned this the hard way when his so-called friends planned to subject him to the hot water challenge at a sleepover. According to KTH-11, the hot water challenge is a dangerous trend that kids are trying in their incessant effort to be cool. But it's leaving many of them hurt. In one case, the cruel challenge claimed the life of an 8-year-old girl in Florida, and it's leaving nasty burns on other kids from across the country. Sherwood High School student Nickolas Conrad was at a sleepover with 6 of his friends when they attempted the challenge on him while he was asleep. I felt this really bad burning on my neck, and when I woke up, and I started screaming and crying, Nickolas recalled. First- and second-degree burns now cover the majority of his neck. It was the worst pain of my life, the teen recounted. He said the boys at the sleepover made a game of his life, and he feels lucky just to be alive at this point. I just want them to leave me alone. They're not my friends anymore, and they're not going to be, he said. Nickolas' mom, Mickey Conrad, said she's still in shock. I thought he had been in an accident, and that it had been an accident. But when I found out it was deliberate, it's so concerning, she said. She's now urging other parents to warn their kids of the dangers of recreating challenges found on the internet. Don't ever say, "My child won't do that," and educate them, said Mrs. Conrad. In the aftermath of the incident, Sergeant Keith Wilson, with the Sherwood Police Department, said, "We're now talking with our school resource officers who are working with school administrators to educate all the students to not do this, and that this is not a joke. These kids could seriously injure someone, and you can be facing felony charges." There were adults at the house on the night Nickolas Conrad was severely injured by a group of boys claiming to be his friends. But those adults were asleep. This is a nightmare scenario for kids and their parents alike, as it could seemingly happen to anyone. It's easy enough for misguided teens to go boil a pot of water while their parents are sleeping. And before you know it, an innocent victim can end up hurt, or worse. Nickolas Conrad's story serves as a crucial reminder to parents that they can never be too careful when discerning whether or not to allow their children to spend the night at other people's houses. Even as teenagers, kids can be susceptible to the dangerous games their friends have planned without their knowledge. For this reason, many parents no longer allow their kids to attend sleepovers at all. Unfortunately, in this day and age, you simply cannot be too careful. It's better to be safe than sorry. Nickolas's experience left him not only physically scarred, but emotionally traumatized as well. He has since struggled to sleep, often waking up from nightmares where he relives the pain of that night. The psychological toll of the event has been profound, making it difficult for him to trust others, particularly people he once considered friends. "I never thought something like this could happen to me," Nickolas said in a quiet, trembling voice. His once carefree attitude has been replaced by anxiety, and his mother is now seeking professional counseling for him to help process the trauma. As Nickolas recovers, his story has ignited a larger conversation about the role of peer pressure in these so-called challenges. Experts warn that teenagers, even those who seem well-adjusted, can be easily influenced by group dynamics, especially when they're desperate for approval. Dr. Jamie Weller, a child psychologist, explained, "Challenges like the hot water challenge appeal to a primal need for acceptance. The desire to fit in, combined with the thrill of danger, can override common sense and empathy." Dr. Weller urged parents and educators to be more vigilant and proactive in discussing peer pressure and the consequences of risky behavior with their children. The Internet, while an incredible tool for communication and learning, has also become a breeding ground for dangerous trends. Challenges like the hot water challenge go viral because they are shocking, and that shock factor drives the popularity of videos documenting them. Social media platforms such as YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram are rife with clips of teenagers performing these stunts, often with catastrophic results. Despite the platform's efforts to remove harmful content, new challenges continue to emerge, pushing the boundaries of safety. In light of Nickolas's ordeal, there have been renewed calls for stronger regulation of online content, particularly videos that involve dangerous or harmful activities. Some lawmakers are advocating for increased oversight of social media platforms to prevent the spread of such content. It's unacceptable that children can so easily access and participate in these life-threatening challenges, said Senator Rebecca Larson, who has introduced legislation aimed at holding platforms accountable for failing to swiftly remove harmful videos. Larson's bill also proposes mandatory educational campaigns targeting teens and parents, raising awareness about the dangers of these internet challenges. Nickolas's friends, who initiated the hot water challenge, are now facing the very real possibility of legal consequences. Law enforcement agencies are taking a closer look at such incidents, recognizing that what some kids may consider a prank can quickly escalate into criminal behavior. The Sherwood Police Department is continuing its investigation, and there are discussions about whether the teens involved should be charged with assault. "This wasn't just a prank gone wrong," Sergeant Wilson explained. "This was an intentional act that resulted in serious bodily harm." Nickolas' family, while grappling with the emotional and physical fallout, has decided to take legal action against the parents of the boys involved, as well as the social media platforms where the challenge was first discovered. "We need to hold people accountable at every level," Mrs. Conrad said. "The parents who weren't supervising, the boys who hurt my son, and the companies that allow these challenges to thrive. Everyone has a role in stopping this from happening to another child." In the aftermath of the attack, the Conrad family has received an outpouring of support from their local community. Neighbors, friends, and even strangers have rallied around them, offering everything from meals to financial assistance for Nickolas's medical bills. "The kindness has been overwhelming," Mrs. Conrad said. "It's a reminder that there are good people out there, even in the midst of such an awful situation." A GoFundMe page was set up to help cover the costs of Nickolas's ongoing treatment, and it quickly surpassed its initial goal, showing just how much the story resonated with people. As Nickolas continues his recovery, both physically and mentally, he's starting to speak out about his experience. He and his family have partnered with local organizations to raise awareness about the dangers of internet challenges. They are working to create educational programs that can be brought into schools to teach children about the risks of participating in harmful stunts. If my story can prevent this from happening to someone else, then maybe something good can come out of all this, Nickolas said during a recent interview. The Conrad family's advocacy has sparked a larger movement in their community and beyond. Schools in the area have begun incorporating internet safety and peer pressure discussions into their curriculums, inviting guest speakers to talk about the consequences of dangerous challenges. Nickolas has even been invited to share his story with students, helping them understand the seriousness of their actions and the long-term impact they can have on someone's life. Nickolas's ordeal has also brought about difficult conversations within families across the country. Parents, who may have previously dismissed the idea that their children could be involved in such dangerous activities, are now taking a closer look at the content their kids consume online. The incident has opened many eyes to the importance of open communication between parents and children, as well as the need for ongoing discussions about internet safety and personal responsibility. Looking forward, Nickolas has expressed a desire to use his experience as a platform for change. Though the physical scars may fade with time, the emotional impact will remain, and he's determined to turn that into something positive. "I don't want anyone else to go through what I did," he said. "If sharing my story can stop even one person from getting hurt, then it's worth it." His mother echoes his sentiment. "We can't undo what happened to Nickolas," Mrs. Conrad said, her voice thick with emotion. "But we can do everything in our power to make sure it doesn't happen to someone else. That's what we're focused on now, turning this tragedy into a lesson for others." Nickolas's story is a sobering reminder of the power of peer influence and the darker side of internet culture. It highlights the critical need for education, regulation, and above all, compassion, in ensuring that children understand the value of safety and the importance of kindness in their interactions with others. His recovery may be long, but his bravery in the face of such adversity is already making a difference in his community and beyond.